Hey, it's Frances. Welcome back to the Milk and Honey Kitchen. Today I'm making my Berry-Nectarine Trifle, which is a showstopper of a dessert. A trifle, if you've never made one before, takes cake, fresh fruit, and cream and mashes it all together into one really delicious dessert. And this one I'm gonna give kind of a new spin to. I don't usually put blueberries in it, but I wanted it to have red, white, and blue for our upcoming summer holidays. We have Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day, or anytime that you just want a patriotic looking dessert. So let's get started with the cream. I'm gonna take 1 egg and whisk it. And then we're gonna head on over to the stove and start putting that cream together. Okay, so we are ready to make the lemon cream. I'm gonna take 1/2 cup of sugar and combine that with 1 tablespoon plus 2 teaspoons of either cornstarch or arrowroot powder, and all that does is thicken it. I'm using the arrowroot powder today because I like to go natural, but you know, whatever you have on hand will work. So then what we're gonna do is we're going to start heating this over medium heat, and I'm gonna add 1 1/4 cups of 2% milk gradually. The whole thing is that you don't wanna scald the milk, you don't want it to burn. So let's get going with that. Okay, and this has, I don't know about you, but I have one of these power burners, and so even the lower flames are kind of intense, so you have to really watch that. So a little bit at a time. Get in there and continue to whisk, because that's gonna help the sugar to dissolve. Once you've added in all of the milk, you're gonna bring it to a boil, but just for 1 minute. And this dessert is one of those things that you could make the cream a day ahead, you can make the pound cake a day in advance, or just buy a store-bought pound cake. And that way, even though it is kind of a labor-intensive dessert, you can break it up and then it doesn't feel like so overwhelming all at once. Okay, so I'm turning the heat off, giving this just a little bit of a stir before I start to temper the egg. And then you are just gonna pour this directly into the egg, but only half of it. Stirring the whole time, whisking the whole time. Now this mixture goes back into the rest of the hot milk. Okay, so blend it in, put it back over just a medium heat. And then you're gonna stir in a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract and 2 tablespoons of Meyer lemon juice, or regular lemon juice, whatever you have. I have the lovely Meyer lemons today, so I'm gonna use that. Stir it in, let it cook for about 2 minutes, turn the heat off, and then we're gonna transfer it to a bowl. Cover it with plastic wrap. The reason why you cover it directly with plastic wrap, like on the surface of the cream, is so that it doesn't create a film. You don't want that sort of pudding film on top, because then you won't be able to pour it later on. Okay, a film or a skin, you know, something gross like that. All right, so good. Take that off the heat, and I'm actually gonna use the same bowl to transfer it back into. No reason why you can't do that. There we go. I'm gonna place the plastic wrap right on top, stick it in the fridge, come back in 45 minutes, and finish the trifle. Okay, we are back. My lemon cream has chilled. I'm going to, it looks great, smells great. I'm going to now add some yogurt to it. I've got whole milk Greek yogurt here, a cup of it, and I'm just gonna stir that in. And anytime you make a pound cake, totally butter that pan up and use some flour too, and hopefully it will pop out nicely. And that looks and smells awesome. So just take off the very ends, because you want the pound cake to be able to absorb the cream, the juices from the fruit, and the Grand Marnier if you end up using it. So just trim the little ends off, and then do, I'm sure somebody in your house will want to eat them, and then do basically 1/2-inch slices with the rest of the loaf. I'm going to, in the middle of the bowl, pour in about a 1/2 cup of that lemon cream mixture. And then I'm gonna start layering in the bread. You can trim the pound cake to better fit your bowl, you know, depending on, yeah, like here I'm gonna have to cut them into, or break them into pieces. And don't worry about what the bottom of the bowl looks like. It's all gonna taste good. Because remember, this is gonna go in the fridge and sit for 3 hours before you eat it. And this is optional, but I love Grand Marnier, so I'm gonna use it. But if you have kids or anyone who has sensitivities to alcohol, you can totally skip this part. But I'm gonna add in, I've got a total of 1/4 cup. I'm gonna add in half of it right now. Grab a bowl, and this is where the whole Patriotic thing comes in. I've got 6 ounces of blueberries here. Already washed them, have to give them a wash first. And then 6 ounces of raspberries. You can use any berries you like. And then I have 2 nectarines, which I've pitted and sliced. And when they're at their peak of ripeness, I like to use white nectarines or white peaches, but they're not there yet, so I'm just using regular nectarines today. 1/4 cup of sugar, so not a ton of sugar, just enough to get the fruit to release its juices. And then I'm just gonna give that a little stir. We're gonna add in half of the fruit into the trifle dish. Okay, this is amazing. We're gonna go back to the cream, add another 1/2 cup or so on top. Then you're gonna go back to the pound cake and add in another layer. And so you can start to see how pretty this is. You can see the cake, you can see the cream. It's a pretty outstanding looking dessert, I think. And all in all, still pretty healthy. You know, you've got a nice dose of fresh fruit in there. So back to your Grand Marnier, right? And you can use any kind of liqueur you like, but I really like the orange flavor in here. It works nicely with the Meyer lemon. I'm gonna add in the rest of the fruit, and then you top it with the remaining cream. Okay, this is gonna go in the fridge for 3 hours, and then when it's ready, we're gonna give it a try. All right, so our Berry-Nectarine Trifle has been in the fridge for 3 hours, mingling, mixing, the pound cake is getting all nice and ooey gooey. I'm gonna give it a try now. And you can see how pretty it is and what a great thing to bring to somebody's Memorial Day party, 4th of July party, your own party, whatever it may be, graduation, celebration. Looks so good. Don't forget about the Grand Marnier. That's in there too. And it kind of brings it all together in a really delicious way. Yum. Thanks for joining me in the Milk and Honey kitchen. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.